Wickets tumble in eventful day one at Chelmsford. In the final round of the Bob Willis Trophy, Essex knew they would top the South Group with a win over Middlesex, who themselves could still catch the reigning county championship title holders should other results go their way. Hosts Essex remain unbeaten and currently lead the group on 70 points, 7 ahead of Kent. Despite losing the toss, it didn't take Essex long to strike in Chelmsford. Just 2 overs into the day, Middlesex opener Max Holden nibbled at Sam Cook's delivery to fall for a second ball duck. 2 balls later and Cook thought he tracked Nick Gubbins, but despite a big appeal, the umpire disagreed. But Gubbins wouldn't survive Jamie Porter's delivery, pinned on the front pads to leave Middlesex in early trouble, now 5 for 2. And before the half-hour mark, Essex had their first point in the bag with a 3rd wicket. An off-cutter from Porter outfoxing Sam Robson to clip middle and off stump to leave the visitors 18 for 3. Middlesex's decision to bat was quickly made to look like a poor one, as Cook struck again just before the hour mark. Middlesex skipper Stephen Eskenazi edged to Adam Wheater to leave the away side languishing on 38 for 4. Simon Harmer was then brought into the Essex attack, and it didn't take the off-spinner long to strike, as Martin Anderson lofted to deep mid-wicket to hand Ferozi Kushi a simple catch and Essex a 5th wicket. Middlesex's slim hopes of progression to the final were dwindling by the over, as Porter grabbed his 3rd wicket of the day. Former Essex loanee Robbie White edged to Alistair Cook to hand the hosts a 2nd bowling bonus point, the score 68 for 6 heading into lunch. With 1 foot in the final at Lord's, Essex continued their charge as John Simpson fell in the 2nd over after the restart, edging through to Wheater to hand Harmer his 2nd wicket of the match and 25th of the competition. Middlesex all-rounder James Harris was doing his best to limit the damage with back-to-back boundaries, before he took a nasty blow from batting partner Blake Cullen at the non-striker's end to leave him needing treatment. When play resumed, Harris stayed well clear of Cullen's next attempt, which, to his relief, cleared the boundary for 6 to edge the visitors towards 100. Harris looked as though he'd fully recovered and guided Middlesex past the century mark as they continued to counter-attack. But Harris's rearguard effort was brought to an end by a fine delivery from Cook, his 3rd wicket of the day, to trap Harris for 34 as Essex finally broke the 8th wicket partnership. It didn't take long to rattle through the tail end as Cook grabbed his 4th wicket, as Thilan Walalawita was adjudged leg before as Essex bagged a full complement of bowling points in the process. Harmer finished Middlesex off with Blake Cullen the last man out, caught behind with his side all out for 138. Despite losing the toss, momentum now lay firmly with the South Group leaders Essex, as Sam Cook ended on figures with 4 for 27 and Jamie Porter 3 for 55, as Harris ended up top scoring for Middlesex with just 34. Looking to ramp home their early advantage, Alistair Cook and Paul Walter took to the crease, and the early signs were good for the hosts, as Cook helped them to 17 without loss by tea. But the former England captain would fail to add to his score, tempted in by Cullen's delivery and caught well by Eskenazi to leave Essex 18 for 1. Tom Wesley's poor form with the bat continued. He fell to Tim Murtagh for just 8 as the hosts' reply began to falter. They were struggling to contain Murtagh, and an unsettled Dan Lawrence was the next victim as he departed for a 6-ball duck. All of a sudden, Essex's hopes of building a lead had vanished, as the host lost a 4th wicket in the next over. Kushi trapped by James Harris to blow the game wide open, falling to 44 for 4. Runs were proving hard to come by at Chelmsford, and Ryan Tenderscarter rode his luck at times, but he and Paul Walter continued to rebuild for the hosts, before Walter fell 7 shy of his half-century off the bowling of Harris to end the partnership of 44 for the 5th wicket. Essex now 87 for 5, and the match still very much in the balance. Adam Wheater offered some resistance to bring up 100 as Essex closed on 108 for 5, 30 runs behind Middlesex with 5 wickets in hand, as the South Group leaders eye batting bonus points in day 2. The hosts were dealt a blow at the start of day 2, as all-rounder Ryan Tenderscarter appeared to strain his back running between the wickets in an innocuous-looking injury. Despite receiving treatment, Tenderscarter had to retire hurt on 31. bringing a 6-wicket stand with Adam Wheater to an end. With batting points a priority for Essex, some quick-fire boundaries from Wheater pushed the home side into the lead. Looking to defy Middlesex for as long as possible, Tenderscarter's replacement Simon Harmer also kicked on as Essex moved to 160 for 5. Wheater pushed away a couple to bring up his 50, the first half-century of the match, with the Kent wicket-keeper taking 67 balls to do so, notching 7 fours in the process. On a frustrating morning for Middlesex, they'd eventually find a breakthrough courtesy of Martin Anderson, who trapped Harmer to depart for 21, Essex now 194 for 6. But Wheater continued his march, punishing a wider delivery from Anderson to move the home side to 200 and a first batting bonus point. Anderson would continue to be the danger man though, and he'd grab his second wicket of the morning as Aaron Beard edged a drive to Stephen Eskenazi at slip. 4 balls later and Anderson was at it again. Sam Cook the latest to fall for a duck as the Middlesex all-rounder moved to figures of 3 for 20 from 6 overs to dash Essex's hopes of posting a big lead as they went into lunch 219 for 8. With the earlier injured Tenderscarter returning to the crease, Anderson was in no mood for sympathy as he picked up where he left off before lunch. An outside edge handing him a 4th wicket, with Essex's hopes of a second batting point looking very slim. Minutes later they were all out, as Jamie Porter fell to the bowling of Tim Murtagh for 3. Essex dismissed for 236 and unable to pick up more than just the 1 batting point. At the other end, Wheater ran out of partners as he finished unbeaten on 83 from 142 balls, with a blistering spell from Anderson seeing him the pick of the bowlers for Middlesex, with figures of 4 for 38. The visitors began their second innings at Chelmsford 98 runs behind, and opener Max Holden signalled his intentions early on, as all 17 of the visitors' opening runs went to his name. Sam Robson didn't partner him long, as he edged Sam Cook's delivery to Simon Harmer to give Essex the breakthrough. But Holden stood firm to bring up 50 for the visitors. However, on the stroke of tea, Essex struck again, with Nick Gubbins trapped LBW, leaving Middlesex still 40 runs in arrears on 58 for 2 at the interval. Aaron Beard struck shortly after the restart, and his first wicket of the match was worth waiting for, with Middlesex skipper Eskenazi's off-stump sent flying. The second wasn't bad either, this time rearranging Max Holden's stumps to leave Middlesex still 28 runs shy of breaking even, with 6 wickets remaining. Clearly in the mood, Beard struck again shortly after to dismiss Anderson and leave the game in danger of being over before the close of play, with the away side still trailing by 14. John Simpson and Robbie White did their best to hang in there for Middlesex as they edged level. But Essex would strike just before the close of play to bring the 36 partnership to an end, as White departed leg before to Harmer, as the visitors closed the day on 123 for 6 and a slender lead of 25 runs against the South Group leaders, who very much remain in the driving seat heading into day 3. Essex began day 3 well on course for a 3rd Red Ball trophy in 4 years, and were in the wickets by the second over of the day, as Sam Cook removed James Harris's off-stump to send the all-rounder back for just 3. Not looking to hang around, Cook grabbed his 3rd wicket of the innings shortly after. Blake Cullen feathered through to Wheater, Middlesex in big trouble now, 133 for 8, with just a 35-run lead. Beard continued his day 2 form, another fine delivery dismissing Teelan Wallala-Wheater. And they'd wrap up the innings within the hour, as Middlesex ended with a whimper, a swing and a miss from Tim Murtagh, leaving Wheater with a simple stumping. Middlesex all out for 150, with Max Holden top scoring in a second innings which saw the visitors struggle with the bat, posting 7 single-digit scores in total. Essex in large part had Sam Cook to thank with the ball, as he finished on match figures of 7 for 55. That left Essex needing just 53 to win, and Paul Walter and Alistair Cook made a steady start to the host pursuit. With victory for Essex merely a matter of time, Murtagh had something to smile about for Middlesex, who removed Cook's off-stump to depart for 21, with Essex needing just 12 to win. That brought Tom Westley to the crease, and he'd see Essex home before lunch with a single, to wrap up a comprehensive victory by 9 wickets in Chelmsford. The fourth victory of the tournament saw the reigning county champions top the South Group with 90 points. But those 4 wins proved crucial and was enough to see them claim one of the 2 spots in the Bob Willis Trophy final at Lord's.